people, it's your boy Nathan Hector, and today I'm here with my brother, the legend, Nottingham legend, my brother Ddot. How you doing, bro?
Say my brother.
You good?
Good.
So, I've known you for a long time, bro.
Yeah.
A long time. What? 8 years?
Yeah, I said 8. When I looked the other day, it was about 8 years.
Yeah, about 8 years. Yeah, I
From
know
like
you.
2016.
Yeah. I think what you posted was from. But was it Birmingham?
But yeah, Birmingham. That was at the O2.
That's crazy, you know.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. So obviously, you've been, as I know, but for those that don't know, you've been in the mix, in the business for a long while.
Yeah, 100%.
From producing to rapping to DJing. For those that don't know, let's take them back to where it all started for you. Where'd you grow up, and how did you get into kind of what you're doing now, man? Like let's take them on that journey. I think it's important for people to know, man.
Yeah, for me, I feel like my journey starts here in Nottingham. I grew up with my mum, my stepdad. He does music, so from a young age, I've always been around music and just that whole energy and vibe. I'd say like when I was like 9, 10, from what I can remember, is when I started to really like take in what my dad was doing. So he was rapping, him and his friends, they was producing and stuff like that. That's when I took a real interest into it. And like, you know, it is when you're younger, you want to be a rapper, you just rapping. Probably like them times there, I was just rapping, innit? I was trying to rap or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, my mum brought me out a Mac when I was probably like, I'd say like 12, 13. I had Logic on there.
Come on, bro.
You know about Logic?
Do you know about Reason, yeah?
Yeah, Reason was the original. Reason was the original. So I had like Logic and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I used to just mess around, like trying to make beats, whatever. My dad had a little home studio in like the outhouse bit of the house. So I'd go in there, and then like when I got to like say early teens, so like 14, 15, me, my cousin, and one of my friends, T1 and JD, we all went to different schools, but obviously we spend a lot of time together, like outside of school, and we kind of just started like making music together.
No way.
Yeah, so like I'd be in the studio, like.
So if you went to different schools, how did you kind of?
So obviously JD's my cousin.
Okay.
And T1 and JD are friends, but they go to the same school.
Oh,
to get it, so that's the link. So I went to a different school to them. So that's That's
so
what I meant.
Them two went to school
together.
together.
So them two went to school together.
Okay.
I went to a different school, but obviously JD being my cousin, obviously introduced me to T1. T1 wanted, like, was doing music. JD was kind of doing music, but there was nothing serious. You know, it is when you're 15, 16, you're just kind of messing around, doing your own little thing.
Yeah.
So then we ended up linking up and like making music together. Like I said, obviously my dad was a big inspiration to me at like my early stage and early age, and still is now. So I'd be recording them, we'd be rapping together, like loads of crazy things, like shooting our own videos, editing our own videos.
YouTube?
Like, YouTube.
Yeah.
That's for the link next. Don't kill me. Like, but we did all that, like, probably until I was about 16, I'd say. I'd like transitioned out of that. But up until then, I've always just been into music and had a real passion and interest for it.
Yeah. So when you was rapping, was you also producing as well?
Yeah, and engineering, like.
Oh, so you done it all?
Yeah. Like, bro,
okay.
like we can go to a studio and jump on Logic and I can record your whole session for you.
Cold.
Like, and like to a certain extent, I can mix for you and all that. Like,
cold.
I learned it really young. I used to go to a youth club called NGY when I was about, I'd say 15, 16, after school most days, to be fair.
Yeah.
So that's when I took like more of like a interest and started learning more about the technical side of like being in a studio and stuff like that. But I've always been interested in music. It's kind of always been a part of me. I played guitar as a kid. Like, I can play the guitar, yeah.
That's amazing, man. So obviously coming away from the engineering, producing and rapping and stuff, what was kind of the turning point for you in regards to going into DJing?
I think like in terms of going into DJing, I'd say it kind of like happened naturally and unexpectedly. Like I got 2 uncles that DJ'd, my Uncle Temper and my Uncle Springer. So like they've DJ'd for years, innit? Like Jamaicans, United goes.
Yeah.
So we'd have like family parties and I would just go to the decks and just like be DJing. But never at that time did I ever think I was gonna be a DJ. So like I'll probably be able to find your photo at some point of like when I was probably like 15 or even a bit younger, like DJing, and had no idea that in a couple years down the line I'd be DJing like how I am now.
Yeah.
So it kind of just happened naturally. I remember like there was a period of time where like my cousin Riley, he had some decks. He actually started DJing before me, but he had some decks. Obviously, I had my Mac and stuff. With my friend Escobar, who is a DJ, and I just remember like seeing like S online and thinking like, yo, this looks sick. Then I got my cousin, he's DJing, doing his thing. So I used to borrow like them lot's decks. This is like early. I never had my own decks or nothing. I used to borrow them lot's decks, take them to my house, and like kind of just mess around with them, like, and just try my own thing, and that was it really. And then it came a point where I did I make the mix first? I think I made a mix. Yeah. So like at this point, I've already kind of know how to like the basics of how to DJ or mix a song into another song. That was from like, I'm a visual learner, so I was watching a lot of like YouTube and other people. Like I said, I was watching him. He taught me some things. He used to play at a club in town. It was Foxy's, and I used to go there.
Old school.
Yeah, I wouldn't say old school, but it was just a club in town that was around for a period of time. So I'd go there on like a Friday, and S would be the DJ for that, but like he'd give me the first like, I don't know, half an hour or hour, probably like
just to boost your confidence.
Yeah, like to boost my confidence, to teach me like, yo, this is how you do this, like, and that's how I kind of got more like into it. And then I remember one day saying to my mum like, oh yeah, I got like some bookings. I don't even think I had bookings at the time. I swear to God, like, I swear I don't think I actually had bookings at the time. But I remember saying to my mum like, I got some bookings, like I need some decks. Like I need some decks ASAP. By this point, I didn't want to really keep borrowing everyone's decks. I kind of wanted my own to just do my own thing and just try it. So I remember my mum brought me some decks. Then I made a mix. I put a mix on SoundCloud. It was just like an R&B mix. Like when I listen back to it now, like I hear the growth. So I think like, oh, yo, it's sick. But then I listen and be like, oh, I could have done that different. But I put that out anyway. I remember promoting it on my Snapchat. Where I was no lie, within about 2 weeks, it was on like 10,000 plays or something crazy like that.
That went viral.
But to me, at the time, it was like that number was like a big thing. Like, I don't know, 10K.
What year was this?
I want to say, I need to find it. I want to say like 2017. Let me find it, because I don't actually want to get it wrong.
Wow, so I'd already known you at that point.
No, you did, because remember, we linked. When we actually linked up at that show.
Was that the first time I'd met you?
Nah, I feel like I met you before that, but that show was in 2016. I wasn't DJing then. I was making music at times.
2016, you was making music?
Yes, bro, 100%.
When you met me, I just started hosting.
You just started hosting? Nah, I need to find this mix though.
I feel like
how do I find
feel like the mix SoundCloud was probably 2015. No, you weren't DJing.
I wasn't DJing then.
That's crazy.
I'm on my tracks. You don't even tell me the date. I'll have to find it later and we'll put the date in the thing.
So in regards to like, obviously with S, he's taking to Foxy's every Friday, was it?
Yeah.
And he's giving you the kind of the leeway in the room to do what you're doing for the 20 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah.
From there, how did you kind of manipulate that situation and use that as leverage to get you more work? Because obviously you're in Nottingham. I'm assuming you haven't gone to like London yet, or
no, not really.
So how did you kind of use that as leverage to move on to the next thing and kind of spread your wings?
I think at the time there was a lot going on. So like musically, as I was transitioning, I had friends around me that was already in the music industry as like artists and engineers and producers. So I wasn't going London frequently, but like I would go in London and like kind of meeting people and seeing people.
Just in the mix.
Yeah, so that just in the mix. But this obviously is around the time of me like figuring out like what I want to do, transitioning into becoming a DJ. So then, like I said, I got my mum to get me them decks, whatever, made the mix, kind of went off. So then at that point, I kind of thought like, oh, maybe there's something to this. But then like there's a little bit of a backstory. So like as this is going on, when I was making music previously, I went and did a show with I can't remember, I might have been with JD or T1. We went and done a show in Luton. This one was like rapping. and Section Boys were headlining it.
Crazy.
Yeah. So then at this time is when I first met Section Boys, probably like 2016, 2017 times. I first met them.
Perfect time because
Yeah.
the UK music scene was a whole
Yeah, it was. That's like and
whole different beast. Them
yeah,
times.
yeah, it was crazy. That's when it was rocking Puma and all that. Like
Crazy.
it was cold.
Crazy.
So I met them at that time. Then, and then obviously we come away from that show. We used to like talk on socials here and there. Like I wouldn't say at that time it was like a mad friendship or anything. Like we just knew of each other. Obviously, I used to think like, I'm not even used to think, but I think they're sick and would look up to them and that. Obviously, making music myself, there was kind of like inspiration.
Yeah.
So then, during this time of like my transition, it's gonna sound so random, but like PlayStation was a like big thing. Like GTA was out, and everyone used to play GTA online. So I ended up adding like Section Boys on GTA. Whatever on
Just started gaming with
yeah, we're just gaming. So imagine we're just gaming now. So like we're just gaming. There's no like really nothing musical to it. It's just we're gaming. So as I was saying, was online, was gaming. Section Boys friends were friends with Lowski, or whatever. So at this point, we're not even thinking about the future, or I'm not thinking about the future or what can come from it. Right? We're just online gaming as friends. Skeng, who's Lowski's manager and friend, he introduced me to Lowski. Lowski had some shows going on, so he dropped a song, Hazards.
Okay, yeah.
So Hazards was going off, so it was really
crazy.
popular. And Forrest Gump, but the leaked version was out.
Forrest Gump, yeah.
The leaked version was out. So we was doing shows, well, he was doing shows, and I used to just roll to the shows as just like one of the man them really like. But during this time, I'm still transitioning into being a DJ. Like, it's not fully set in stone that, yo, I'm a DJ, but I'm transitioning into that, like the man them know that I've been doing mixers, whatever.
Yeah.
So I remember going to like one of the shows, I think it was in Birmingham, and he must have, Skeng must have said to me like, oh, you might as well just DJ for him. They had the songs on the USB, plugged the USB into the laptop, DJ'd for him, and then it was like, oh yeah, you might have to be the DJ, innit? Like I DJ for like whenever they do shows. Didn't really like think too much of it at the time, but at the same time I did. And then from there, it kind of naturally happened that, well, when he had shows, I was DJing for him, and then we ended up going on tour, touring up and down the country.
How was that? What was that experience like for you?
It was good. Like it was a sick experience for me. Like it was my first, I'd say my first like step / break into the scene, as you would call it. Like on a big scale anyway. Like DJing in the O2 was a big thing at like 17, 18. Like, wow, man's in the O2. And like even we did a show. He did one of his headline shows in London. I can't remember the exact venue, but I just remember it was a big venue. Probably like the biggest venue I'd ever like performed in or DJ'd in at the time. And Drake came to that one. And it was
is that when Drake's at the top of the
So,
Kentish Town?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So like Drake was on top of that. So you gotta remember at that time I'm still young as well. So to me, them things are really
2018?
Yeah, say about 2018.
Crazy.
So I was about 18, 19 or whatever.
Good times,
so like,
man.
Them things to me at the time were like really like wow.
Did you meet Drake or did he just?
No, he was just in the top.
He didn't come backstage, nothing.
No, he wasn't allowed.
Why?
Because the show was strict. I remember specifically that show was strict. We had to send our names, license or whatever.
Drake wasn't allowed backstage.
He wasn't allowed.
That's crazy.
He wasn't allowed. Like if you wasn't on the list prior, don't care who you are, you're not allowed backstage.
Yeah, Kentish Town are very strict.
So it is what it was, but it was definitely a big moment for me, and like definitely like where like my mind definitely ended up being focused on like being a DJ now. Like I'm now doing shows left, right, and center, this city, that city. Like I've been to some crazy places that on a normal day, as you would know, we wouldn't really go to them. Like even like Southampton and them places. Like so it's not somewhere I'd normally go.
So your first tour with Lowski was like your first time kind of doing Birmingham, Manchester.
Yeah, we went on like there was a thing called Bigger Fish Tour.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Was you on that?
I was on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we linked up on that.
Come on, broski.
Cool.
Heady One was headlining. Yeah.
So
was that 2017, right?
Yeah. So all around that time, I feel like all them years like kind of crammed into.
I remember Heady One had just released Golden Boot, I think, or Golden Boot was out anyway.
Yeah. It was actually.
Who else was on that tour? Heady One, Lowski, and I think
I want to say H was on it, but I can't remember if H came on Lowski's tour.
H went on it, but H did come out as a special guest in Manchester.
Yeah,
But
Lowski's tour.
this is before he had blown.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He was buzzing.
Yeah, yeah, it was buzzing. Yeah, I remember.
Nero put me onto H.
Yeah, yeah.
And I had already known Adex from like 2 years prior to that.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I remember H coming out. I'm trying to think who else was on that tour.
I can't remember, but I just remember that tour being like the first
IQ.
tour.
IQ. I'm sure IQ was on that tour. I might be going crazy.
I can't remember.
But
that was like the first tour that I'd been on, like in my life. Like,
Big Up Your Show was your first tour?
Yeah,
That's
my first tour.
crazy.
So that was Birmingham, Manchester, and somewhere else.
London.
Yeah. So that was my first tour,
Smart.
and first tour with Lowski. And then obviously we went on to him doing his own tours, and then like club shows in different cities, Norwich, Sheffield. Like
I've never played Sheffield.
Yeah, I have.
Was it mad?
Yeah, Sheffield's good. Sheffield's good in
I've
that
never
sort
played
of
in
thing as well.
Sheffield. I've never played in Newcastle. Never played in Liverpool. There's like a few places that I haven't played in. I played in Glasgow.
Yeah, I've been
or Edinburgh.
Glasgow, Edinburgh.
You in Glasgow and Edinburgh?
Yeah.
The UK is mad, isn't it?
Some places that I would like. That's why I kind of think it's
Cardiff?
like. Yeah, I've been Cardiff. Went there on Lowski's tour.
Oh, I've been Cardiff once.
Yeah, so sometimes I feel like, yo, I'm proper grateful for the DJ life.
What's your top 3 cities
My top 3 cities
to play in?
to play in. Depends
What
on
that
what
you played in?
it depends on like what crowd we're talking about, because I feel like there's 2 different sides. You got the more
on a Lowski tour, your top 3 cities.
Oh, on a Lowski.
Yeah. Obviously, your own bookings are different. 'Cause
Yeah.
You might get booked for a yardie dance, like a bashment dance. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So the crowds are gonna differ, innit?
So I'd say for a Lowski tour, I'd say either somewhere like Glasgow, because their energy is just crazy, or like Birmingham, but ultimately London, because it, like when it's the artist's hometown, the energy is just so different.
Do you get more nervous when you do a show in Nottingham?
What, like DJing for myself, like my own bookings?
Either or. Is it more nerve-wracking when it's Nottingham?
Nah, not really. I don't
Swear
think so.
down.
I think I don't know.
Do you overthink it more when it's your hometown?
Sometimes, yeah.
100%. I thought it was just me.
Sometimes, yeah. But I thought that's because like it's your hometown, it's your people. So like you want them to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like what you're doing.
Yeah.
But also when I go out of town, I feel like you're also under more pressure because you're in another city and you're basically they don't know you. You're here to make a good impression and like stamp your name.
Out of town is definitely pressure. But like I feel like out of town is less pressure because they've never seen you before. You can just kind of wing it.
Yeah, you can.
Like, London, I've seen you before. Like I've seen my man. He's whack, boy.
Yeah.
Not any plays, boy.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
true. When you look at it like that, it's definitely true.
It's crazy still. So obviously you don't just DJ for Lowski, you also DJ for Mist.
Yeah.
How did that whole thing come about? And have you had conflicts of interest as you DJ for 2 artists now?
No, I wouldn't say I've had any conflicts of interest when it comes to the 2 artists. Obviously, Lowski had his setbacks. So during the time of me DJing for Mist, obviously Lowski wasn't really around, so there was no like clashing of shows or anything. But the Mist thing came about organically, naturally. My cousin Bomber, he was good friends with Mist, or is good friends with Mist, should I say. He introduced me to him. It just started out by like partying. We was partying in Knots or wherever. Once again, probably just rolling to like shows, just rolling, like nothing really to it, no plan, no like, this is what we're gonna do. It was just natural. He had a DJ at the time. I think there was a few shows where his DJ was a bit busy. So by this point, I'm already a DJ. I've been DJing for quite a few years, would I say. So by this point, he's asked me to come to a few shows, like, oh, DJ for me on this show. We've done that. And then that just kind of happened naturally. Like, it kind of just made sense. Like, cool, we're always around each other. We're friends, we've got a friendship. So it made sense for me to be his DJ. And it's just been that ever since, really.
That's wicked, man. In regards to shows with Mist, is there like a difference between him and obviously Lowski crowd-wise? Or is it pretty much kind of the same energy?
I'd say pretty much the same energy, to be fair.
Dope.
Yeah, with the clubs and the tours, pretty much same energy and same crowd. Like, they're both sick artists.
Yeah.
They both got their own pockets that they fit into. So
Man, that's
Yeah.
dope, man. I think as I was saying before, like off camera, your whole journey just seems very, very organic, bro. I
Yeah.
don't feel like you've had this big plan. I mean, you can't this thing, this industry, you can't plan.
But you can't.
It's almost impossible, especially now.
Yeah.
Like you cannot plan, bro. Being a human in the world and the the way the world is moving and the direction the world is moving in,
Yeah.
you can't plan. And then
Yeah.
being in this, you also can't plan because you need to kind of you need to adjust to the way the world is
Yeah.
moving.
Times are constantly like changing.
Changing, yeah, man. You
It's
know, so
different.
I commend you, bro.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
It's been a journey and a half to witness. And as you know, being in this business, you have to make a lot of sacrifices, go through a lot of trials and tribulations with friends, family, associates, business,
100%.
like, and deal with a personal life as well. Like, how have you balanced that, and what's kind of been some of your trials and tribulations? And do you feel like you've lost a lot of friendships along the way, or have you kind of tried to keep the same circle around you? Like, what's that whole adaptation been like for you? That journey been like for you?
The adaptation, it's been tough. Like I can't sit here and say it's been easy. Like definitely been a learning curve in a lot of ways. I definitely lost like I wouldn't say lost friends, but probably like had relationships that were good at one point and have broke down to probably how I've dealt with things or gone about certain things. But it's I don't know, like everyone's journey is different. I feel like for me, I'm just at stage now where I'm learning still and figuring out like how to navigate certain situations, how to go about certain situations. Like I'll give you an example. There was a time that I was basically I like DJing in festivals and the O2s and all these type of places. But also I like the urban scene. I like DJing in the dance hall scene, the underground.
I think that's your bag.
It is,
your
but
bag.
both are.
Both are your
I
bag,
love
yeah.
both of them. Like I love to go out on the weekend with the man them and we'll go to a yard dance and it's like, yo, that's my thing. But also I like to run around on the main stage in a festival and jump around. Like so my point was basically someone must have said to me at one point, like, oh, if you want to get booked for these festivals and these type of things, how you like present yourself on like social media, for example, is key. So like I was like, what do you mean by that?
Marketing.
Yeah, kind of like marketing.
Yeah.
So there was like, oh, if you're trying to do this sort of thing, like the more commercial side of things, then posting like say the underground stuff, the dancehall stuff, the bashment raves isn't gonna get you that. So I felt like I went through a stage of being quite conflicted, of feeling like, all right then, well, I want to do this, so I won't post this, but then it can come across as like I'm being like arrogant or I'm not supporting that side of things or I don't rate it when actually I do and I love it and it's my passion, but it was finding the balance. Like I'm slowly getting there, like it's still like a work in progress, but it was definitely a confliction and it's probably affected some of the relationships that I've had along my journey where people probably feel like oh, I only care about this, I don't care about that, when actually it's not that, it's just that I'm trying to do this alongside this, but it's finding that balance. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think just being a DJ is just being a DJ. You like what you like, and I feel like you shouldn't be treated like an outsider because you like music from where you're from.
Yeah.
That doesn't correlate.
Yeah, it's a hard industry because I feel like there's loads of people out there that look at certain things, like I was just explaining, like say for example the dancehall scene and like the commercial scene, and feel like they can't mix. When I feel like they should be able to mix, because at the end of the day I'm a DJ, so I'm here to play music for everyone. It shouldn't really necessarily mean because I play at this sort of thing that, oh, you can only do that, we don't want you over here, or vice versa. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
So it's definitely a hard thing to navigate, and it's been hard for me to navigate.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. Just touching on, you said that you could have dealt with certain situations differently, and maybe the way you dealt with whatever situation. Do you feel comfortable diving more into that and how you dealt with those situations?
Yeah,
possible, of course.
No, 100%. Like I feel like off the top of my head now, I can't think of a specific example as such, because now you kind of put me on the spot. Put me on the spot, sorry. But it was more like what I was saying about the whole how I present myself on like social media is like I kind of turn a blind eye to like what people would probably class as like where you come from, if that makes sense, or like how my journey started or the things I've done. Is it can seem like, oh, I'm like shoving that to one side when it's really not that. But I probably haven't been vocal about it or explained like, actually, this is why I've done this, or this is why I'm not doing this, or tried to have a conversation. I've probably just gone about it in a way of like, well, I'm doing this and that's just it, which is a bad trait and a habit that I have.
Yeah. How have you managed to keep your business associates and your real life friends separate? Because you know sometimes the lines get blurred, and
They have.
when you're doing things,
They have.
yeah, my brother, and then when the tour's done or when that moment's over, everyone kind of goes back to their real life and their quote unquote real friends in their real life, you know. So how have you managed to kind of separate both and not try to not blur the lines? Because it's easy to blur the lines.
In all fairness, I feel like I haven't yet figured that part out yet. Like I feel like
It's tough, innit?
that's a part I'm still figuring out at the moment, like how to separate the two. I feel like there's probably loads of situations where I have blurred the lines or wires have been crossed, but it's something that I'm trying to figure out and work on really. So I can't say like, oh, I've got it all figured out and this is how I separate, because it's just not.
Do you feel disconnected from your day ones at all?
Yeah, sometimes.
Why?
But I say this to them.
Why do you? Because of the life you chose and what they're doing?
I wouldn't say the life I chose, like we all chose our different paths.
Yeah. When I say the life you chose, I'm assuming that they have like 9 to 5s, regular jobs. I don't know.
Yeah. Like some of them like have normal jobs, like
different friends for different things.
Yeah, different friends for different things. I feel like my day ones, like I would say, like the JDs, the T1s, we've just grown up and ended up on different paths. Like it's still love, and it's never like any bad vibes. Like when we link up, it's still the same vibes that we had back then. It's just that times have changed. Like I'm on this journey and this path, and this is kind of where my focus is at, and this is what they're doing. I don't think it's anything crazy, but sometimes it is a bit like, oh, like damn, like I miss the days of like 016 or 017. Do you know what I mean?
And the days go by quicker than we think.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, how have you dealt with your mental health being in this business? I mean, it's up and down, left, right. I mean, we had the whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
How did you kind of cope during COVID, and what's it been like for you mentally coming out of COVID and getting back to it?
I think when COVID first hit, it was depressing and deflating, like 100%. Like I definitely felt when COVID hit and like there was like, oh, all the clubs are shut.
Yeah, it's over.
Bro, I thought I was finished.
Yeah.
Finished. Like,
yeah. So did I.
Like finished.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I didn't know what to do with myself.
Yeah.
But as COVID went on, like things got a lot brighter. Live streams were going on.
Yes.
So remember the DJs were on Instagram.
Live.
There was parties. So then me and Broski Esco, we linked up and we was doing live streams.
You lot was going crazy during
Yeah, bro. Like, that was a sick time. Like it was cold. We linked up. We was
kept the fire in your belly, you know?
Yeah. We used to do live streams from like my mum's shed, like in the back garden. Like it wasn't nothing special. Had our iPhone, the decks, brought the wires, linked up like probably once every week, doing live streams. And that was crazy. Like it was a sick time. And I feel like as well, that period of time, it brought a lot of people together.
Yeah.
I remember like being in like other people's live streams or my own when I was DJing and like reading the comments, and like people were actually commenting like it was a real party. Like I just remember a comment like someone be like, yo, someone bust the back door. So it was like after feeling depressed, it was a little bit of light during that time because I found something that could still keep me going.
Yeah.
Obviously that's when I linked up with S to do them. So me and S was doing that. Escobar was in Gamrock Sound prior to doing the live streams, me and him. So me and him doing the live streams was kind of separate to that. It was just like a brother love, like we both DJ, we both love it. We was both linking up all the time. Obviously for both of us, it was a hard time. So we ended up doing the live streams together. And then after like, I'd say, how long did COVID last? Like 2 years?
I think 2 years, yeah.
2 and a bit years.
Yeah,
I'd say about probably like, after about a year, and like as things slowly started opening, there was an offer to join Gamrock Sound, and like it was like the offer was like amazing, like sick, like definitely because I already looked up to them. I was already inspired by them.
Man, a
It was-
legend.
yeah, like it was already
Legendary,
something I felt like I wanted to do. But once again, it happened organically. It was never like, cool, we're gonna link up and do live streams, and then I'm gonna join the sound, and then we're gonna DJ. Like it just happened so organically that it was a really nice and sick moment, and been a sick time. So yeah, I ended up joining Gamrock Sound, and then from there, coming out of COVID, obviously because we've been on the live streams like near enough every week, getting like hundreds of views, our names were popping. So like Escobar, Ddot, or Gamrock Sound, like it was popping. So coming out of COVID, we had loads of bookings, brunches, because brunches was the thing, remember?
Yeah.
It opened up, but it was like weird. It wasn't like nighttime
Yeah.
partying, it was like daytime partying. So
Yeah.
we was doing brunches like Birmingham, Manchester, Leicester, and yeah, we was just like, it was sick. It was just all over the place. And by this point, all that hope that man lost when COVID first hit, I was back.
So when we came out of lockdown, or COVID officially, July 2021. Like, what was it like after for you? Like just with Gamrock and just was it super packed?
Yeah,
Like,
super
month?
back. Yeah, like was on go, bro.
Like, tour.
It was like tour. You might as well say it was tour. It was on go, like on go,
Come on.
like unstoppable on go, bro. Like it was just it was sick, and I think it was good for everyone. Like just the general like public, and also like for me, for S, for the team, because that time was so deflating and no one knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Everyone probably felt like it was the end of the world, and we made something out of like nothing. I just say during that time, and turned it into something that blossomed basically.
So how many members of Gamrock is there?
So in Gamrock currently there's 3 of us. There was 4. S has left. He's on his own journey.
Why?
Bro's just doing his thing. Like
Politics.
nah, I wouldn't even say politics. Like bro, everyone has their own path, and he's been in Gamrock for like. We just had the 16-year anniversary, so Gamrock's been going on for like 16 years. I'm like the newbie in the team.
Okay.
I'm the newbie in the team, so it's been going on for a long time. But yeah, so there's 3 of us now. There's me, there's Stuffy, and there's Father Gamrock. Father Gamrock's like the main man,
Head honcho.
Stuffy's the mic man, and I'm the mixer, the shooter. So yeah, we're here. We're still about.
That's dope, man. Moving forward, man. Like, what's the plan for you, man? What's the vision? Because you've been in the business for a long time. I feel like you've obviously grown up in and around music, from engineering to rapping to producing to now DJing. You got your own thing going on with Gamrock. You got the Miss stuff. You got the Lowski stuff. What's the kind of vision moving forward? I don't believe in end goals, because once you reach an end goal, that's what you're gonna do after that. You know. So kind of what's the vision moving forward for Ddot, man?
I think right now, currently, I'm going through another transition of like just rebranding myself, giving people more of an insight and understanding to me as a person. Remember, like, yes, I'm Ddot, but I'm also someone at home, off the internet, behind the decks. You know what I mean? So it's just, I'm just going through that little transition. But I definitely feel like future-wise, I don't like cap myself into one thing. Like, there's so much things that I'd love to do. I want to do. Like, for example, like, bro, I love the thought of being like a tour manager. Like, that stuff to me is that sick. Like, so I don't think, I wouldn't say I'm gonna ever like not be a DJ, but it's not just the only thing I want to do.
You don't want it to define you.
Yeah, I don't want it to define me. Like, I still want to be able to spread my wings and do other things. Like I said, I love music all the way around. So for me, it can be anything within the music industry to a certain extent. Like, even like I've even thought like about A&R and stuff, like all them type of things I like and I have an interest in. So for the future, it's just like figuring out what else I'm gonna do alongside being a DJ.
Yeah. How important to you is networking and building relationships? Like, what's that been like for you in life and in business?
Networking is so important.
Yeah.
Like, so important. I definitely feel like now I'm older as well, I can see the benefits of it, especially like when I look back at my journey and I feel like all the things that led me to where I am now were off the back of networking. At the time, probably didn't realize and understand that's what I was doing, but that's what I was doing, meeting people, just having conversations with people.
Yep.
They can lead on to anything in the future. Like,
You never know.
You never know. So I feel like networking and just being out there and around people and just being in the right room sometimes, it's about being in the right rooms at the right time, is just a major thing.
1000%, man. What are the pros and cons for you of being a DJ in this day and age?
Ooh, pros and cons.
What are the pros and cons, bro? Huh? Threw you off there, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You did. The pros and cons. I mean, a pro for me with DJing is being able to spread the love and energy through music. So being a DJ, naturally, I control the vibe in the room.
It's crazy when you think about it, you know?
Yeah, it is.
Like, you touch a button and, like, people sing a song back to you.
Yeah, it is.
Or, like, even as a host, like, you go 1, 2, 3, and people, like, it's a chain reaction.
Yeah.
It's like a domino effect.
Yeah. So I think that's a really, like, a good pro.
Yeah.
I feel like a con would be, like, the industry and the market's forever changing.
Yeah.
So you've kind of always got to be on your toes. You've always got to be on go.
Yeah. How do you feel like the industry's changed from 2016 till now? Obviously, there's been a big change, but I just want to know from your standpoint, like as a DJ, how do you feel like the industry's changed, and in a positive way and a negative way?
In a negative way, I'd say the nightlife's died down, like massively.
Done for.
Like
there's under 500 clubs in the whole of the country.
Yeah,
like the UK even.
Yeah, like so.
Which is insane.
That for me is a negative. Like it's really died. I feel like the good thing is there's so much people coming through and doing their thing and getting exposure and being noticed. Easier as well now than probably back then. Obviously we have social media now and all these things, so that's a massive help to us. But I just feel like now there's loads of people just chasing their dream and what they want to do, and it's sick.
Yeah. As a DJ, what's your take on Mac 10, DJ AG, the whole outside, letting people come on the mic? Is that something that you feel like is gonna spread across the country in each city?
Yeah, I think it can. I think it's good. I seen someone post about that the other day, like he should gatekeep, and I was a bit like,
okay, yeah, I saw that.
You see it?
Yeah,
like, I don't feel like he should. Like, I feel like
it's just an opinion.
Yeah, it's just an opinion.
It's just an opinion. I feel like everyone's entitled to their opinion, man, and I feel like, yeah, the game is the game, man. Entertainment is entertainment, and people are entitled to their opinions. I don't think everything's got to be beef, but with those kind of opinions, I'm not saying it's wrong, by the way. The opinion's the opinion, but I feel like with those kind of opinions, people are always gonna come back with something negative to say.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
it's a tweet, innit? So
yeah, it's not that serious. But
yeah,
I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing.
Would you ever kind of go down that lane of
100%.
DJing outside?
Yeah. 100%.
So why haven't you done it?
I don't know. You know what's weird? In COVID, when me and S was doing live streams, we definitely spoke about going outside to do live streams.
Crazy.
Like we definitely spoke about it, but I think at the time it was just a bit long-winded. But,
yeah,
there's no like specific reason as to why I haven't done it.
I think you should.
Just go outside and
Christmas special with Ddot, middle of town.
In the middle of the town.
Yeah, why not?
Do you need licenses and that for that type of stuff?
I think you do, but I don't think people care at this point. They had us locked down for 2 years. Do you think anyone cares about? Yeah, let me get a performance license to perform in King's Cross. No. So, bro, we actually caught up earlier on this year.
Yeah.
After months of I don't know how long we didn't speak for. Life is life. And you unexpectedly became a dad.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
How's that been for you, man? What's fatherhood saying? Obviously it wasn't planned. So how has that been for you? And what's that fatherhood journey been like?
It's been tough. Like through and through, like it's been tough. It hasn't been the easiest journey at all. I became a dad in a circumstance that was out of my control. But like at the end of the day, I've had to step up, do what I need to do, put my son first. And that's kind of just it really. Like it's had its own struggles and battles along the journey. and that's like one of the reasons why I attend like a weekly therapy session.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I go therapy.
What's therapy like for you? And how's that helped you navigate this new relationship with your son that you've got?
I feel like at the start I was unsure about how therapy would work
Yeah.
and if it would work and if it really helps. Obviously, I've been going for a while now, still going,
Mm-hmm.
and it definitely works and definitely helps.
Yeah.
I think it's just, I don't know, everyone's experience with therapy is probably different. For me, it's probably just being able to just talk freely,
And express yourself
express yourself in a room,
in real life, not
in
on a
real life.
stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, it's been a tough journey though, but at the end of the day, we get on with it, step up,
Yeah.
do what we need to do. That's it.
Is there anything that your parents taught you that you want to install into your son? Like what are some of the teachings that they taught you that you've implemented in your life that you want to pass down to your son for him to carry on and pass down to his kids and so on and so forth?
I feel like something my dad used to say to me all the time. It's probably a generic thing, but like you can do anything you put your mind to. It's just a generic thing,
But do you know what?
I genuinely believe like
It's
you
it's a
can't-
beautiful thing for a parent to say that, because you hear stories in it. Like we've all heard stories of people saying, "Oh, my parents didn't believe me," or they didn't. It's just that encouragement goes a long way.
Yeah, it does.
And especially like as a child, it makes you believe, yeah, you can do anything.
Yeah, 100%.
Something you definitely pass on to
Yeah, 100%.
little man.
100%. And to anyone else out there, like just in general, and like with like
But you only got one son, you know. You don't father loads of different. Oh, you father a load of DJs actually. There's probably a bunch of DJs that have copied you.
Nah.
Do you feel like people bite you?
What do you mean?
Bite your style of DJing, or do you feel like everyone's different?
No, I feel like everyone's different.
You think?
Yeah, bro.
I hate.
Like especially like in Nottingham anyway. Like right now, I'd say Nottingham is sick. Like for DJs, like there's loads of us. There's me. There's Vibe Set Sound. There's
Vibes, set, sound.
yeah, they're cold.
They just sound so Jamaican, and I'm here for it.
But they are cold.
I love that.
There's
anyone that's called Vibe, set, sound, I know they're cold.
Yeah, they're cold. Then you got DJ Miles and Kino doing a sound called V Rocket. That's like a big sound.
A lot of duos.
Yeah, a lot of duos.
Sick.
There's Escobar, there's Belly, like there's loads of us, and we're all doing our own thing, and we've all got our own style, and we all just like it's just sick. Like it's proper sick, and I feel like everyone's cold. I don't really look at it like, you know.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Back to therapy. Do you think that will help? Do you think you going to therapy has also helped you navigate your way in the business as well, like moving forward?
Yeah, I feel like it is now. Like it's definitely helping now, and definitely, you know, making me think more and look at things from different perspectives. Whereas before I wouldn't really think. I'm a person that I don't think before I act and never think after. That's like
Typical.
along with like I got learning difficulties, ADHD.
You've been diagnosed?
Yeah, my bro.
Professionally?
Yeah, professionally, my bro.
Welcome to the gang, man. Welcome to the family, dude.
That's it.
Oh. Professionally diagnosed with ADHD at what age?
Young, like primary school.
You sound like me. I got diagnosed at like 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think I was a bit older than that.
Crazy.
I was a bit older than that, but yeah, like
That's crazy.
That's
crazy, man. Welcome to the family, man.
Yeah, man.
So you're busy with Mist. You're busy with Low School. You're doing Fatherhood. It's full on.
Yeah.
It's super full on, man. You've got a busy schedule, personal and business. What do you do in your downtime, man? Like, how do you just unwind? And you wear a lot of different hats. You're trying to be a good friend, good dad, good flipping boyfriend, good, DJ. You know what I mean? wearing your business hat, like, how do you like to unwind your mind and take your mind off things and just have, what's your downtime? What does your downtime look like?
My downtime currently looks like, I say there's different parts of it. One of the parts is like I got a motorbike and an electric bike, a Saran. So my downtime can just be like just out on that, just riding.
Really, he's not in them streets.
Yeah, with the videos not in the streets, just weeding like
Going
just
to Mr. T's, that's always cool.
like just out in the fresh air. Like it's a bit of like freedom. It's like a sense of freedom, like just a clear mind. So I do that for downtime. Like chilling at home with the kids, like just doing family stuff, going out, date nights, like they're just all like my little downtime things, like especially spending time with family, as I said, and the kids, like that means the most to me. Like, it's a really important part of my life and something that's
I've known you for a long time, and one thing I've always found pure and beautiful about you is that you're a family man.
Yeah.
Away from all of this hype,
100%,
lights and screaming supporters of whatever was going on, you go back to where it started. It's easy to, I think being in this is easy to lose sight of like what's really important. And one thing I always say to people, like, your family may not be perfect, but in the end, if you was to lose it all and your career would just might not have worked out the way you wanted it to, at least you've got your family.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, time is of the essence, man. You know?
They definitely mean the most. Definitely mean the most to me. And yeah, that's it really. I just feel like you said, when you come away from all, the career and stuff, like that's the stuff that means the most. Really, I'm a softie at heart, to be fair.
I know this. Trust me. I rather know it, bro.
That's not how he's tweeting, bro. Thank you.
Terrible attempt.
Yeah, terrible.
But yeah, man. Is there any other artist that you would love to DJ for? Like globally though, not in the UK. Globally, like one set, 1 hour, any festival in the world, who you choosing?
Rod Wave.
Rod Wave?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Rod Wave.
It's interesting.
You think?
Well, you listen to loads of the depressing music.
It's not depressing, bro.
In the car on the way. Honcho he's great. Not him Honcho from America. He's great.
Yeah.
But he's fucking depressing.
I don't find it depressing.
So what do you find?
But people do say it. Like I see
music. Wow.
I see it a lot about Rod Wave specifically.
Rod Wave is great, by the way.
He's depressing. I just feel like he talks about situations that like you might not specifically be going through, but you can relate to, or you can hear the.
So he's basically Drake reincarnated.
No way.
But Drake talks about situations.
Bro, we're not gonna compare the two. That's what we're gonna do.
You prefer Rod Wave?
Me personally, I listen to Rod Wave over Drake.
Definitely.
But like I said, I just feel like the subjects he touches on, I just think he's a sick artist. I just feel like even if you're not going through specifically what he's talking about, you can either relate to it in some way, or you might know someone that relates to it. Or I just think it's cold. I don't find it depressing. Like I find it's a bit like therapy. I used to say before I went to actual therapy that listening to Rod Wave was my therapy. Yeah, like I don't know, I could be depressed or something, and I'd just probably put my headphones in and listen to Rod.
No, I feel you, man. So you've been in there. You've been in this game for a long time, bro. A lot of people have come and gone in your time, our time.
Yeah.
From artists to DJs to whoever else in between. For all the new DJs coming up, setting up on waves, not just from Nottingham, just anyone that's going to watch this, what advice would you give them from here on out? I mean, we're about to go into 2025. The game is changing at a rapid rate that we've never seen before in regards to music, and just there's a shift happening in this culture. We're having to adapt. So what kind of advice would you give to anyone that wants to step into the arena and get dialed in and get locked into this business?
I think now with like the past couple of months that I've took to like think about the industry and how I'm gonna move forward, my advice would be to like stay on top of like your marketing side. I feel like that's a really important part, and staying consistent is a really important part. Like if you miss a gap, it can affect you massively. And I know that because I've kind of done that in the past, like say year or so. Obviously that's alongside my journey and my battles that I've faced throughout the year. But I know that it's had an effect on probably where I'm at today, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like not staying consistent. So I feel like just being consistent, work on your brand and your marketing, and just network. Just have conversations. Ask people things. Like, don't be shy to ask other people their advice or for opportunity. Like, at the end of the day, the worst thing that can come from it is they say no.
Mm-hmm.
That's just it.
You know what no means?
What?
Next opportunity.
There we go.
It's factual.
Yeah, that's it. It's truth.
Ddot, what's your purpose?
Oh, my purpose in life.
Yeah. In your entire life, from what year was you born?
99.
So from 99 to now, you've lived loads of different lives. You've had loads of different experiences. You're here now, DJ, father, son, someone's partner. What do you think your purpose is? Yours.
Ooh.
Not anyone else's. Yours.
It's a very direct question, that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it a bad thing not to understand what your purpose is?
No.
Is that a bad thing?
Because you can.
Because I feel like
No, I don't.
I feel like if I was to answer now, I'd be saying like
It might
to just
change,
spread.
it might change.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be answering now and saying like to spread love amongst people.
Yeah.
But I feel like it can change.
If you had asked me that 3 years ago, I wouldn't have known the answer.
Yeah, like, I don't think I have a specific answer for that currently.
Yeah.
But I will, and I'll
I
definitely
think
come back to you on that.
a lot more life to live, man. I'm saying that like I'm crazy older than you.
Yeah, you're moving mad.
Like 7 years. I think I've got like 6 or 7 years on you. But I think people will find out at different times in their life what their purpose is. And some people experience things a lot earlier on in life, and then they'll be able to figure it out.
Yeah, 100%.
Just for some people, being a dad and being a provider for their families, that's their purpose.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. You know what I mean? For some people, doing music is their purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
100%.
it's fine that you don't know the answer, man, because you might experience something in the next year and you'll be like,
That's my
this is
purpose.
my purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
It's been a pleasure, bro.
Pleasure's all mine, my
Absolute
brother.
pleasure. Anything you want to tell the people watching?
No, not really.
Where can they find you on social media?
Where can I find me on social media? At the official Ddot on all social media platforms.
It's your boy Nathan Hector. It's been a pleasure. Shout out. My brother Ddot, Nottingham's finest. Bomber, come and link us. You already know. Fought on the count.